Hello everyone and welcome back to Studies by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we finished off the suburb of Walton. And I'm really glad that we did all those suburban builds because now we can focus on things that we don't require necessarily to have residential expansion. And hey, look at this. This is Walton. This is what we did last episode. In today's episode, we are going to be starting the airport. Yes, the airport. We have had the airport planned for quite some time, but I've just been waiting for the right moment in the series to do it, and that time is now. The airport's going to come into play for quite a long time. Oh, hey, look, again, back at Walton. This is great. Because the airport is going to kind of dictate what happens around it. The airports are really large, so I wanted to get this in before we did any other small towns around that area or any other builds around the area where the airport's going to be, because I just don't want to interfere and squeeze in the airport. I want the airport to be as large as it needs to be, and then we'll just kind of build around it, even though that doesn't always happen that way in real life. So with this horrible, horrible view, let's hop out and take a look at what we did last time. So here we are in Walton, and we have a lot of fun suggestions. So this station is now named Bar Gwendolyn Station. Barr is Edward Barr, an RCMP engineer who died during the Second World War, and that kind of place naming often occurs, naming people after famous heroes from the World Wars, along with Gwendolyn, which is the road that it's on, and it also kind of rhymes with Endoline. So thank you, David, for that one, and Tratber for the Edward Barr suggestion. Joy also recommended from Joy Build Cities that we get some fun farmers markets in here. So I took out this location right here and made a little bit of a farmers market. And I think that would be really nice to have. I'm sure on weekends when the metros don't run as often or something like that, this would be a really nice spot to come. The parking lot would be rather empty too, because it's not a weekday or people aren't commuting in. So this is fantastic. And then we also have a bit more of a farmer's market over here by the fire station. And then this was supposed to be a farmer's market over here, but it apparently wasn't in the district that I made. So let's just fix that. All right, so as they're coming in here, I figured this would be a really good spot to get some farmers market items as well, because of the beautiful park that we have through here. I'm sure it'd be really nice to, grab your produce and then maybe grab a coffee from this hip coffee shop over here and go sit on one of these little patios that the town has set up. More farmers market options right in here as well. So yeah, I thought all in all this worked out pretty nice. I'm really pleased with how this build turned out with the high school, and then including this kind of more centralized location around the metro. And then also Joy also recommended that we name this station Park Station because of Central Park right here. So that is the station in Waltham, Hanover Heights Business District, and I thought that worked out really nice. So thank you all for your suggestions. Fantastic. So we're going to now talk about the airport, and the airport is going to be probably something we're going to do for the next 2-3 episodes. And one cool facet we have about this airport is that this metro right in here that goes all the way through Hanover Heights actually connects to the future metro. So let's follow it down past University Station into the financial district where we have a metro stop right here. And then it splits to go underneath the ground right into here. And it merges out over in Walsenburg, which I haven't been in Walsenburg in a little while, but I really like this town. And it swings out over into here where there's nothing. Well, that's because we're going to get a station for the expansion of Walsenburg, known as Winslow. And we'll get a metro stop in here, and then we'll swing it in to the airport over here where we have major airport interchange leading in to Michael J. Fox International Airport. So we're going to be connecting this road here. It's going to go and turn into the airport interchange. I think we'll probably get a connection onto this road somewhere, maybe even right here by the Meteor. But this road goes into Ordway, where it connects up to a roundabout, and then it even connects up to the Ordway Cut, where it goes downtown. So this would be like the quick route if you were driving to the airport from downtown, but otherwise it would probably be via the metro, would be the fastest way. But also it connects out of bounds over here as well, which is really nice, including our new connection up to Walton. So Ordway is going to become quite the town soon with all the traffic. I mean, look at the traffic flowing through this roundabout here. That is quite busy. And then we have our bypass for trucks in this location, and that also seems to be pretty busy. So, you know, it also connects up over into here as well. But yeah, holy moly, this is going to be quite the build. So I've been looking at what type of interchange I want in here, and we're going to do something similar to what we have over here, maybe a bit tighter. And kind of taking inspiration for this airport build from the Edmonton International Airport. I think that's the right size for what we want in this series, because the town isn't like a massive metropolis. So I think it needs a good airport, not a world-class / huge airport. So let's start with this interchange build. All right, so there we have it. Fun little parklo with some interesting points of conversation. So pretty much if we're coming from this way, we can get onto the highway pretty easily. But yeah, we can also swing this way to go downtown. But if we're coming from the airport, this is kind of the big feature of it. We have a long and winding one because I'm sure the traffic could get pretty gnarly. But again, this is actually modeled after an interchange in Edmonton at the airport. So it goes really long and then it goes towards the downtown, which is convenient because, you know, if there's surges of traffic, for example, that's a lot more space to fill up. But we're coming from this side, which is out of the city. We can easily get into the airport area, but also we can then take a left down through here or go straight. And where is this going to go? Well, we can build something out here in the future, and then this is a good access point into that area, so it could tie in to this zone through here. Maybe there's a town over here or something like that. Big box store is a factory or something like that as well. But say we're coming from the highway this way, we can get off right here, and then we have multiple turn lanes to go into this direction or this way. Now this is the direction from downtown, but I do suspect that most of the downtown traffic is going to come from the south. But if not, we have two left-hand turn lanes, which is good. And we could have brought it underneath, for example, and swung it over, and, you know, eliminated this turn. But I think everything is going to be a-okay. Yeah, I think it's a fun little interchange. The only thing I was really struggling with is the lane mathematics through here. So we have 3 lanes, and then I decided that we're going to cut off a lane. So, you know, this is just best for game mechanics reasons, for the AI of the traffic. But originally I had it with 4 lanes going this way. But as you can see, there's not a ton of traffic this way because a lot of the traffic, it gets intersected by this interchange here that's trying to turn into this direction, for example, coming from out of the city. So I think we're actually going to be pretty good with the system I have through here. Then we have 3 lanes through here, and then it actually goes from 2 in plus 1 into 3. Now we have to shrink down twice coming from this side, but really this is a slip lane. So really it's 3 lanes, and then it shrinks down into 2. As we get into the interchange, then it regrows. I felt like this is the best way to do it. I'm kind of debating whether or not I'm going to change this interchange up, and I think I will because of just how the traffic is being managed through here, but I might just do this one off camera. Just upgrade the lanes through here. And you know what? I think it's too big of an issue to not address right now. So I think I'm going to do this one as well. We're just going to upgrade the lanes pretty much, so then I can redo the lane maths through this corridor here. Yeah, or at least through this section here, because there's lots of turning and jumping, and I'm not big a fan of that. So let's just upgrade this interchange with an extra lane. All right, so I think this is going to work out better. It looks a little interesting here, but this is a 5-lane road. So I've actually, you know, I was trying to stick with just the highway pieces, but it's funny enough that there's 2 extra lanes on this side than there is on this side. But I think the traffic demand meets it. I think it works out. And I think it's probably for the best that we just commit to this extra lane through here. And then all the way through here, we have this extra slip lane. So all of these cars coming on from this diamond interchange have a long time to get over, or they can just use it to quickly jump onto this side if they want, you know. I don't know what their plans are, But yeah, all in all, I think a little upgrade here was definitely worth it. So there's one more thing I want to do on this interchange before we get going on something else, and that is I just want to get a fence in through here, right in the middle. And I'm just going to use the zoo fence. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the network multi-tool here and do a parallel tool, I guess. And I'm just going to go all the way through the middle here to about this point. Now I just need to get it to the other side, so I'm going to click tab. And then this is what I'm concerned about, is just where it is on this side. And that's right in the middle, it seems. So I think we're probably good just to click it in. And yeah, we'll click it in. Click enter. And there we go. We have a bit of a median through the middle here, which is very nice. And I'll just kind of finish that up by connecting it right to here. And we'll go no guidelines and just freeform. Okay, fantastic. So now we have this wonderful divide in the middle of this highway here. It is more on this side, on this side, but I think it's pretty much in the middle all the way through. So I think we can just leave it. Really, we could run it all the way through the middle here to this interchange, but I think we're good. This is much more of a rural interchange over here, and this one is going to see a ton of traffic. But all in all, if we're looking at the area from a distance, I think we're meeting the themes. I love how the clovers are on opposite sides from this one. And again, it's a real interchange in Edmonton. So I'm just going to watch this off camera to make sure that the traffic is flowing okay through here. One thing that we could do, since this is a road piece, is just make sure that the speed limit is the same through here, which I'm pretty sure it's not. Nope. So let's just make sure that this is 100 kilometers through here. Hopefully that should smooth some things out. Pretty wild that the cars have such quick jumps through. Like why is this car coming from this lane all the way down to here? Makes no sense. So I might lock them in through this section down the road. But we have the major airport interchange. Now that this is here, we can remove it because we've built it now, which is pretty awesome. All right, so over onto this side here, this is where we're going to have pretty much the main road flow into the airport, right? So I think the first step in planning this airport is figuring out where the runways are going to go. So let's, is this actually already an airport zone? I think it actually is. Yeah, it is. Very cool. Yeah, I love how it's leveled, or how the train is leveled already. That's really nice. So let's figure out where we want the runways to be. So let's just use the paths, and let's think about it for a second. All right, so I think I wouldn't want planes flying in this way. I think I would want them flying in from about here, and pretty much anywhere from this direction I think is fine. Yeah, so let's find a good little spot here for some runways, and I think I would like them kind of maybe here and here. We're gonna have like an L-shaped system, and I don't really mind if planes come in from this direction. And we got tons of space over here, so I want to keep it as much in the brown area as possible. Not that it really matters, but I want to stay away from this estuary as much as possible, because I think it could play well into our zoo build if possible. So let's just plan it out really quickly. So I think if we have a runway coming in from about here, and I'm just gonna like way overcommit to what the actual runway size is going to be, and then if we have another one maybe right here, so if we connect up, for example, I want this to be at 100-degree angle. I don't know if we're going to see it exactly. So there's a 90-degree angle right there. If we open it up, we're looking at this at the short side of it, so I need to get this one to 80. Bit tricky to see, but I think that gives us a lot of space to play with. I could pull it back a little bit as well. I think that might be good, but then we're getting a bit close to the interchange itself. I'd rather planes fly over the highway directly rather than the interchange. And then over here, planes flying over the zoo. I don't know how safe that would be for the animals. I'm sure they'd get pretty annoyed by it. But how are the hills up here? Pretty good, pretty good. So I think we're probably good to roll with something like this. And then this gives us a nice large space in the middle here to build our road system to get into the airport area. Another thing I want to do is actually have a parallel runway here, but I think we'll run that another day, maybe tie it into a cargo airport area, and maybe we'll run it out of St. Paul. I'd rather have it on this side than this side. So let's kind of build this area up a little bit. It's been a long time since I've done an airport build, not gonna lie. I guess the last one was the one in Brockton County. Okay, so something like that. We'll work on the terrain later. I'm not going to really worry about that too much. But we have a bit of a cliff here, so it's elevated. So that's pretty cool, actually, that it's elevated. So we're going to need to kind of get the road up onto this platform that we've created. All right, so what is the first step we're going to need to do to make an airport? Well, here we go. This is the airport's DLC. Yep. So we're going to need to choose an airport terminal, and we have 3 options. All right, so we have the classic airport terminal. Those ones are really cool. I like those ones. And we have the modern terminals. Then we have the ultra modern terminals. Now, I think it'd be fun to roll with one of these classic terminals. Just because I think that this kind of style, this like early 2000s maybe style, I mean, I think they're going for something a bit more like 80s or something like that, could work. But this one kind of fits the style of our metros with the roofs, at least the roof type, rather than this one. So that's why I'm thinking that this one might just play better with our architectural themes that we've been working with this series. Now I'm wanting to go with the 2-story one because I think that's a bit more realistic to what the model area looks like. So I'm just gonna kind of place this somewhat on a 90-degree angle to our runway. All right, so I want to go with a 2-terminal system through here. So international, domestic, there'd be different drop-off points maybe. I've seen that before. I think this could be kind of fun to do. I've never done a 2-terminal airport like this. I think in Brockton County, we used the large terminal area, which is they kind of play onto corners, which maybe we could also add in, but I think the 2-terminal kind of system like this could work out. So I think the first step we're going to need to do to set this up and get our level 1 airport in is going to be just figuring out how the road network comes into here, right? So let's first of all figure out the terrain here, because this is pretty gnarly, right? So let's re-level some things, work out the terrain through here. All right, so here we are. Let's first of all fix some of the stuff going on right here. So this needs to be sloped, for example. And then I want to get this node actually to the same height as this one. And yeah, okay, so we're going to swing this out and curve it over here. Now I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a junction that's going to go off into this direction and tightly curve into this area here. And then we might get a junction between that extension and this road in the future, but these two roads are not going to connect because I don't want to siphon traffic from this or via this interchange to the airport interchange. So let's select this 6-lane road that we have, and then what we're going to do is basically just kind of look at the terrain lines, I guess. It's probably a good idea. Yeah, and slowly kind of drift over in this direction. And I think that junction's gonna have to be over here. So let's get that junction via like some 4-lane road of some sort. Doesn't really matter what it is, but let's go with the one with the median. And then we'll put this at a 90-degree angle for about 12 units, why not? And then this is going to curve, kind of following this topography line. All right, and then that can connect up another time. It doesn't even need to stay at this road. We'll just keep it this way for now. But I just really wanted to make sure we had this junction in and then this right of way. But then here we are. We're gonna drop down to 4 lanes through here. Okay, and then we're gonna start swinging over into this direction. But let's make sure that we know where the topography lines are again. Okay, so we're swinging out this way now, and then we'll come to about this point here, where we will then go into a clean curve. All right, and then that's going to be kind of how we're mainly going to connect up into here. But I'm just going to change some things up here because we're going to need to split this at some point. But that's going to be the main road coming in here. And basically we can drop it down to one ways as well. So yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I aligned that properly, so let's just redo this. All right, so we're gonna change some things up from what we did before, and now we're gonna need preferably like a 4-lane one-way road. But I don't know if we have that available. Yeah, oh wow, look at this. So we have 3 lanes here. We're gonna turn it into going 4 lanes. And basically, I'm gonna want this to come at about an angle like this, 145 degrees preferably. There we go. And then we're just going to kind of swing our way over here again. And then we'll split it again with 2 one-way roads. No parking. And we'll have to have this one also reach out at a 45-degree angle, or 145 degree. All right, so this is really fun. So now you stay into the right lane if you're going to departures, for example, and then if you're going into arrivals, then you stay in the left lanes. But let's smooth this out now. Okay, very good. And then what's going to need to happen now is we're going to connect these roads, and then we will swing this one in and over to connect up into here, but we'll also have a connection onto this road over on this side. Okay, very good. I like how this is looking. And then we need to get that final connection in, where we're going to have a bit of a sharper curve off of here. So I'm guessing that if you're coming from, say, departures, for example, maybe we have a bit more of a longer gradual connection in. So maybe we should first of all focus on the one-way road coming out of here and seeing how we can get this angle to be at least good. And now we can swing this road kind of around. So let's just kind of make a fun design. I mean, I don't think it really needs to be that crazy or anything like that, but maybe we can try and find a couple good points of points to work off of. So if we go like 10 units out, and then we swing it out to about here, if we can line up with some type of marker here, that'd be great. Yeah, and then I think if we approach that at a good angle, I think that's pretty appropriate. I think that's pretty straight. And then we can do the same thing here. So this is kind of a long-winded way of getting out of the airport, I guess. All right, so we have the terminals done now, and I think this is going to work out pretty nicely. So we come into the airport this way. We have a possible kind of area that we could jump off, and in this zone here, because there is another road going in this direction, what we really need to do is make sure we have an extra turning lane through here for that road. So we need a 3+4 road. Now, do I have that? I don't know. Okay, so there we have it. Not perfect, but we have that extra turning lane through here. And then we come to this point here where we have our turnaround, which is really important to have in an airport. And then we have all of our lanes going this way, and then all the lanes going this way. And then we have our split up here where we have our departures and arrivals or something like that. And then, you know, if you have to go to domestic or international, then here's Terminal 2. And then we have this split over here where we have a slip lane off for quick exits if you're going in that direction, or we can go into this direction where we're probably going to have some of our hotels and stuff like that through here. But you know, I'm not set on how this exit works. Maybe we'll swing it out entirely onto this road or something like that, but we really need to get the airports in through here, or sorry, the runways, and then we'll call it a day. So we have our terminals in place now, and I think we've unlocked something, probably our airport roads. Okay, so I don't know why it's not appearing for me, why I can't select the runways. So I'll just, I'll figure it out off camera, and then we'll come back to it. And then next episode, we'll actually start up the airport itself. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of planning out an airport. Oh, there we go. I just needed to get the game running. And hopefully now we should have that runway. And nope, it's still not available to us. So very silly. But I'll figure it out, and then next episode, it's not like it really matters, because next episode we'll actually start building up the airport. So I hope you had a wonderful day, folks, and we will talk next time. Peace out.